Mike Evans to test free agency, according to The Athletic. Oh, really? Oh, I
really,
had no idea. I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought Mike Evans was just going to stick around in Tampa. Okay. I mean,
you mean to tell me that Baker Mayfield relationship wasn't enough to keep him satisfied?
Well, now, Trista, they actually had a very good relationship, okay? They were a great duo. They were a great couple.
They were.
It just, they're going to separate for a little bit. They're going to go see other people, go out on some dates, and, just make sure that they're really for each other. That's all. It's no big deal.
It's not a breakup. It's a break.
Exactly. It's not a breakup. It's just a break. That's all that it is. Because that never leads to a breakup. Those are never bad signs when those types of things have happened.
How often?
All right, yesterday.
Really quick, because I know we're going to do this, but how often do breaks lead back into reunions? I almost never see someone say, okay, we're just going to take some time, have a break, and then maybe they do get back together temporarily, but I almost never see people who decide they're going to go on a break end up married, happy, 25 years.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like if you go back to high school, people would go on breaks all the time and get back together. But you're right. If you're talking marriage, adult commitments, that would be a study that I would have no information on. I'm sure there's somebody out there that knows it, but I got absolutely no clue for you whatsoever. That's a good question, because usually that's a bad sign. If that's the case.
Do you know anyone?
Yeah.
Do you personally know of anyone who's gone on a break, reunited, and now are back happy? Yeah, me neither. I don't either.
Not as adults married. No, not as adults. No, as again high school or college. That's it. But that doesn't count. We're all stupid then. I mean, let's be honest. We don't know anything then. We're 16 years old. Yeah. Come on, still don't know a lot of things. But it's a whole different conversation. So yeah, I would. And honestly, too, Mike Evans has a lot of opportunities. This is a guy. I'll be curious to see what happens though, because with him obviously now testing free agency, that's going to happen again. That's not the interesting part. But what is does he go the D-Hop route and just try to find the most money that he can get, or does he say, I want to go play for a contender? Does he look for a quarterback like a Patrick Mahomes, who we've talked about this multiple times? Great fit for him in Kansas City. They're going to want some young receivers, but they're certainly going to want a vet or two that could go there. I think Mike Evans would be a perfect fit.
They went through some real struggles at parts of this year. Part of it was that they couldn't get everybody together. But even when they had everybody together, it was weird, because they had this weird hierarchy problem with their scoring, because it was very much still trying to make it Bam and Tyler to carry in the regular season when everybody knows Jimmy Butler's still the best player on the team. And they go through this 7-game losing streak, and it's finally just dawns on these guys who have been playing together for 5 seasons. Oh, yeah, we realize it's Jimmy Butler, it's Bam Adebayo, then it's Tyler Hero. And it was weird that they couldn't get to that pecking order playing with each other for so long, because all the other pieces, I agree with you, there are some pieces that make them a little bit deeper and make them more intriguing and more versatile in certain playoff matchups, but they had to figure out, their top guys first and then how all those things fall in line. And, simple enough it is, hey, Jimmy Butler is, even though it's a bit of a, lazy river of him before he just starts to pick it up in the regular season, that time came and they started playing a lot better. But certainly there has been more emphasis on the defensive side, which Spo has been very happy about.
Well, the Timberwolves for sure. I mean, that's a team that I agree with him, and I think Bruce Brown said the same thing, that was the team that they were sweating the most. If Anthony Edwards is doing what he's doing, he could be the best player in the NBA as far as I'm concerned. They've got a lot of size. It's going to be always interesting for me how Cat is going to go about things, right? Because he does like to take some pretty deep shots. But if they go big and they decide, with Cat and Gobert, to really give Jokic fits, that could be interesting. And Minnesota, like I said, they've kind of figured some things out as well. If they're healthy, they're going to be tough. I remain just a huge Oklahoma City Thunder fan. I don't know if this is the year that they're going to be able to kind of put themselves in position to go to Western Conference Finals, but I believe in the direction that they're going, and they're just this team that's fearless. And I'm scared. The co-hosts on my show, they don't seem to worry about the Thunder, but I keep saying, guys, don't overlook that team. And then just the West is overall loaded. But those are those top 2 seeds who are right ahead of the Nuggets right now definitely scare me. In the East, I don't know. I mean, I guess you have to start with Giannis. You have to start with the Bucks. The Celtics are going to be a challenge. I think the Nuggets got a pretty significant break last year in the championship, facing the Heat instead of the Celtics. I don't think that's problem is going to be a situation again. But yeah, if you're just sort of stacking things right now, there are a couple teams that the Nuggets are not going to be able to cakewalk this thing, no doubt.
Yeah, and it's a shame because he's having a year that absolutely deserves that consideration. And I think just right there, like that alone with those texts that you had with people and nobody saying JB Bickerstaff, it's just the Cavs have really been an overlooked team. And I think some of it has to do with the fact that we expected the Thunder to start to take that next step. The Timberwolves were, well, they've let us down year after year, but then they go out and have the Rudy Gobert trade, and that still doesn't work. And then this year it starts working. It's like, well, they are kind of a different team, and you have Anthony Edwards. And I don't know, like Donovan Mitchell, as much of a star as he is, it just seems like Anthony Edwards gets a lot more attention, maybe because he's a more, he's a fun personality at the podium. Like, we get it. Like, there's campaigning. There's politics that's involved with a lot of these awards when it comes to that, too. And it doesn't mean that we have, like, again, here's the one thing that I would love, though. Maybe if Dagno or Dagnault wins it, we'll actually know how to say his damn name like Thibodeau or Thibodeau. Because people say Dagno, people say Dagnault, and I'm like, what the hell do we actually call this guy? People on the team or cover the team say Dagnault. So maybe we'll be able to figure that out. That would be a nice start. But, like, he deserves it. Chris Finch absolutely deserves it. But you only have one guy that actually wins this thing. And, like, I sit here, I find myself going, JB Bickerstaff at plus 450, that's a great price, given what they've done in Cleveland. But I think it's wasted money. I just don't think there's a shot that actually happens. With Jason Tatum is just so frustrating, right? Because you see, I always feel like when he was 19, 20, 21, right? You were like, this guy's got so much potential. The ceiling is there. And you still see all of that. Like, you see the skill set. But I didn't feel like there's missing. And maybe it's just consistency. Like, sometimes it's just really like, there are certain guys what you're going to get every single night. Like, I know what I'm going to get from Luka every single night. You may not like everything about his game, but you know what you're going to get from Luka every single night. It's pretty much the same thing. Nikola Jokic, it's the same thing every single night. And it's just kind of a roller coaster with Jason Tatum.